America is experiencing a medical crisis unlike anything we have faced in 5 generations. But why? Donald Trump is not responsible for coronavirus. But as we cross 100,000 Americans dead during Memorial Day week, it is clear that he dramatically increased COVID-19's harm. Economic costs to our businesses, jobs, and economy, effects on you personally in isolation, and ultimately the number of people that died. But why? The answer is because of delay, his lack of scientific and medical understanding, poor leadership, stalling and delays, making the right critical choices, and worst of all, the misinformation to the American people that was led by him. There are now more than 100,000 Americans dead from COVID-19. They are with us in spirit and memory. We honor them and their unnecessary sacrifice. They are the ghosts of Trump's coronavirus. The ghosts are now looking for places to gather. One final goodbye. In this short documentary, we suggest that the ghosts are gathering at Trump properties. This is the story of 100,000 dead. Meet me at the Rose Bowl, the ghost of Trump's coronavirus. Here is how the Trump tragedy unfolded. December 31, 2019, China advises the world of a new pneumonia of unknown cause. COVID-19 begins. January 2020, first coronavirus cases confirmed in America. January 2020, the Trump White House is warned over a dozen times of possible pandemic. No significant action is taken. January 22, CNBC asked Trump if there were any concerns about the virus spreading in the U.S. Trump replies, "We have it totally under control. It's one person coming in from China, and we have it under control. It's going to be just fine." February 2020. Italy becomes the world epicenter and closes the entire country. February 2020. The Trump White House downplays any significant effects of coronavirus. February 19. Trump assures the public against worrying about the coronavirus. Trump states, "I think it's going to work out fine. I think when we get into April, in the warmer weather, that has a very negative effect on that and that type of virus." February 24. Trump tweets, "The coronavirus is very much under control in the USA." He knew that that was not true. February 26. Trump falsely assures the public, "We're going to be pretty soon at only 5 people, and we could be just 1 or 2 people over the next short period of time." He knew that was not true. Trump brags how well he is doing. When you have 15 people and the 15 within a couple of days is going to be down to close to 0, that's a pretty good job we've done. February 28. Trump continues to misdirect a real response by tweeting, "It's going to disappear. One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear." On that day, at his final 2020 political rally in South Carolina in front of thousands, the president says, "The Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus. This is their new hoax." Charleston is the 9th giant political rally Trump holds in January and February, all the while knowing infection spread is occurring. March 1. March begins the ghost of Trump's coronavirus. The first American death is headlines. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus are now here. They will look for one last gathering place to ask why this has happened, to say goodbye. Donald Trump has never been concerned with the emoluments clause as president, so he would likely want his real estate properties, hotels, and entertainment venues to be able to host the ghost of Trump's coronavirus. So they start to gather there. Here are some of the places they choose. March 2nd. Trump suggests the vaccine may be ready over the next few months, but Fauci quickly interjects to say it would be a year to a year and a half. March 3rd. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus can gather in the Oval Office. There is room for up to 10. 9 are now dead. March 5. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus can gather on Marine One. There is room for up to 14. 12 are now dead. March 6. Trump says at the CDC in Atlanta, anybody that wants a test can get a test. That's what the bottom line is. Months later, it's still not true.
Anybody that needs a test gets a test.
March 13. Trump finally declares a national emergency. Over lack of testing, Trump states, "I don't take any responsibility at all." On that day, the ghost of Trump's coronavirus can gather in the White House press briefing room. There is room for up to 49. 48 are now dead. March 14. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus can meet in the penthouse of Trump International Las Vegas. There is room for up to 60. 58 are now dead. March 15. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus can meet on Air Force One. There is room for up to 70. 69 are now dead. March 17. Trump falsely states he felt like the crisis was a pandemic long before it was called a pandemic. On this same day, the ghost of Trump's coronavirus can meet in the White House ballroom. There is room for up to 140. 121 are now dead. March 18. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus can meet at Trump International Chicago's ballroom. There is room for up to 250. 171 are now dead. March 19. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus can meet Trump at the National Golf Club Bedminster. There is room for up to 250. 239 are now dead. March 23rd. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus can meet at Trump Mar-a-Lago in the Donald J. Trump Ballroom. There is room for up to 700. 689 are now dead. March 24. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus can meet in the White House Rose Garden. There is room for up to 1,000. 957 are now dead. March 25. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus can meet at Trump International, Washington. This hotel, blocks from the White House, is the #1 criticism for the president's personal gain as president. There is room for up to 1,300 in the ballroom. 1,260 are now dead. March 26. For 3 months, the rest of the world suffered the most from COVID-19. But today, because of President Trump's response, America will begin a gigantic ascent as the ground zero of the world in cases and deaths. On this day, the ghost of Trump's coronavirus can meet at the Trump National Doral Miami in the ballroom. There is room for up to 1,700. 1,614 are now dead. March 27. Trump signs the first $2 trillion emergency spending coronavirus bill. This will later grow into trillions more spent. The economic failure tidal wave begins in America because of Trump's mismanaged economic response. Today, the ghost of Trump's coronavirus can meet on Trump's Wallman skating ring in New York. There is room for up to 2,200. 2,110 are now dead. March 29. President Trump falsely claims that he inherited obsolete and broken tests from the Obama administration. The long list of who he blames begins. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus go back to where it all starts. June 16, 2015. Trump Tower, New York City. Donald Trump comes down the escalator to announce he will run for President of the United States. This will lead to economic chaos and the largest number of American deaths in a 90-day period in history. March 31, Trump Tower. It's going to take every standing room space in the 5-story atrium, but there's room for all of the ghost of Trump's coronavirus. Capacity 5,200, 5,151 are now dead. This is the last Trump property that can accommodate the ghost of Trump's coronavirus. The numbers, in the president's favorite word, are now just too huge. April 2nd, Trump blames state governors for supply shortages in their states. It's designed to deflect White House mismanagement. April 4, the ghost of Trump's coronavirus can gather at the Opryland Hotel. There is room for up to 11,000. 10,384 are now dead. April 8, the ghost of Trump's coronavirus can gather at the Hollywood Bowl. There is room for up to 18,000. 17,691 are now dead. April 9. Today is a full year without Senate-confirmed Secretary of Homeland Security, who would have been the central role in pandemic response. Instead, Trump personally manages the response. This adds to the crisis. April 10. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus can gather at Madison Square Gardens. There is room for up to 22,000. They'll have to squeeze in as 22,038 are now dead. April 12. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus is confirmed as Dr. Anthony Fauci states that no one is going to deny that earlier mitigation efforts would have saved lives. Those efforts were prevented by Donald Trump. April 17. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus can gather at Fenway Park. There is room for up to 37,731. 37,448 are now dead. April 24. Trump suggests injection inside the human body with a disinfectant like bleach or alcohol could help combat the virus. The makers of Clorox and Lysol pleaded with Americans not to ingest their products. April 26. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus can gather at the historic Yankee Stadium. There is room for up to 54,251, a tight squeeze, as there are now 54,256 dead. May 5. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus can gather at the Superdome in New Orleans. There is room for up to 74,295. 72,271 are dead. The most incredible milestone of our lifetime is reached. Appropriately, we honor the ghost of Trump's coronavirus during Memorial Day week 2020. Our memorial begins to the 100,000 lost to Trump's coronavirus pandemic. Memorial Day week. The ghost of Trump's coronavirus can meet at the Rose Bowl. There is room for up to 100,000, and 100,000 are dead. This is the largest loss of American lives in 90 days in history. Estimates are that 7,000 LGBTQ Americans lost their lives by Memorial Day week to Trump's coronavirus. This is also the largest number of deaths in a 90-day span for this community in history, including AIDS. Unfortunately, the ghost of Trump's coronavirus can only gather at the Rose Bowl for a short farewell. The stadium must be cleared for the next 100,000 because June 1, 2020 projects 114,000 ghosts of Trump coronavirus. July 1, 2020 projects 138,592 ghosts of Trump coronavirus. August 1st, 2020 projects 146,818 ghosts of Trump coronavirus. September 1st, 2020 projects 161,000 ghosts of Trump coronavirus. October 1st, 2020 projects 175,000 ghosts of Trump coronavirus. November 1st, 2020 projects 190,000 ghosts of Trump coronavirus. December 1, 2020 projects 204,000 ghosts of Trump coronavirus. And on the one-year anniversary of China's bulletin on a mysterious new virus, December 31, 2020, America will celebrate our upcoming New Year's Eve, the end of one of the worst years in American history, as projections are for nearly 220,000 ghosts of Trump's coronavirus. Estimates are that 15,400 LGBTQ Americans lost their lives by New Year's Eve 2020 to Trump's coronavirus. Let's all pray for a better 2021. We tribute our needless loss. We hug and say goodbye. You will never be forgotten, the 100,000 ghosts of Trump's coronavirus.